During her testimony on the 13th of January 2025, that is in the transcripts at page 68, lines 1 to 3, she testified as follows. I have to respect him as someone who is also in charge. Even the manner in which I would respond to him, I will have to be very cautious. That is what she understood.
What she understood about my posture and authority.
The way she had to respond to you.
Well, so be it. That is what she says. And I dare say, perusing the complaint itself that served before the JSC, well, JCC, JSC, and now the tribunal, which is basically the mandate and what should be considered. And I'm not saying evidence should be kicked away, but what I need to say is simply that she might harbor this understanding, but I never understood it the way she is now articulating it. I never imposed myself as a JP when I was talking to her, certainly not upon reading here. So in our social setup, it doesn't matter what culture it is. You don't deal with people from the perspective that, do you know that I'm a JP? And therefore, when we talk, you don't deal with life from that perspective. When I was conversing with the complainant, in spite of the fact that I'm a judge president and the top lawyer, according to everybody's understanding and the media, of course, even though it is so, but when I was chatting here, I was a social being.
But you cannot take away the fact that you are the judge president. You do not have to impose it on her because you are the judge president, and she knows that because you say now, everybody knew I am the top lawyer. She also knew that.
The direct answer to your question is, I never imposed myself as a judge president. The conversation was not between a judge president and a secretary or a junior staff. It was a conversation between two adults. I was simply a social being when I was talking to her in this instance. I don't remove my JP-ship.
That is your understanding, but the complainant's understanding is totally different.
I note that.
The statement that I made, or the part that I read to you now that she testified, take away the fact that you are the two parties in this. If you hear this statement, that I have to respect him as someone in charge, even in the manner I would have to respond to him, I will have to be very cautious. Do you accept that in that statement, there is a power imbalance in that?
We must tread carefully when we talk about power imbalance. I say so because we don't have to be singling out each and every utterance that was made. Because during the same night, the very same person you portray as somebody who's junior, I concede is junior in terms of age compared to me. But now she says, then you must determine what you are looking for. So a nitpicking type of approach may not assist the tribunal. That is my view. She is free to express herself the way she did when she was testifying. But what I want to highlight, this was not a JP versus secretary conversation. This was a conversation between a man and a woman, between a male and a female. I was a social being. And as indeed I've said, it's a social etiquette issue. When I say, hey man, you joked, you responded likewise jocularly in the presence of your daughter. That had nothing to do with me being JP and she being a secretary to a judge. So this was a social interaction. Unless there's a theory that JPs should talk only to other JPs or the CJ or other senior official. Unless there is that notion, which I believe flies in the face of social reality.